welcome to the BiG Scuba Podcast. Thanks for downloading. Time to get on board and let's go diving. Mind those ropes.
Hello, my name is David Swain and I'm on the BiG Scuba Podcast with Gemma and Ian in the Auto Trail Expedition 68XL camper van at Sizewell Beach. I'm a scuba instructor and owner of Beyond One Bar Dive Centre in Leiston, Suffolk.
Hello and welcome to the BiG Scuba Podcast. My name is Ian. I am one of the co-hosts, and with me by the power of Zoom today is...
Hello, my name is Gemma and welcome to the BiG Scuba Podcast.
Welcome everyone. Always welcome. Right from the top, let me tell you, these episodes are sponsored by the lovely people at Narked at 90 because their service is...
Beyond technical, and they can cater for all your technical diving needs, any questions, computer servicing, and also for, if you need a recreational computer, they're the guys to go to as well.
They certainly are. Go there. Right, coming up on this episode, we've got a guest for you. He has come all the way from Leiston, and we drove down in the Auto Trail to go see him and have a chat and have a cup of tea, put the kettle on and put the worlds to rights as you do in the diving world, and talk about how he set up a dive centre in Leiston. His name is David Swain from Beyond One Bar Dive Centre.
Yes, so just have a chat about his journey, and we sat in the Auto Trail Expedition 68XL overlooking the sea, the North Sea.
What a lovely day. What a lovely day it was.
Yeah. So we've got video footage of that coming up that we'll put out there as well, so you can see us on location. Yeah,
absolutely. It's good having the van with us for these sort of trips and things like that. And you've been doing some bits and pieces with it. I've been doing some bits and pieces with it.
So you've taken it diving. I've taken it.
She literally dived
underwater.
The van, that was actually on the lake, and I went. I just wanted to clear that up, just in case anyone.
But it was a good vehicle to put. It's got sliding, two sliding platforms that come out of the garage.
I like that. That makes life easy.
Yeah, so you put all your gear on there and just slide it out.
And each tray could take 50 kilos. So that's, a good couple of tanks and some other gear, slide it out, job done.
Yeah. So you did
Big
that.
garage.
Yeah, I took it paddle boarding, so plenty of room to put the paddle board. Took my bike, cycling, did some hiking, used it as a for remote working, office working.
Yeah.
Spent the whole day in it doing my work. And we've used it for podcast recording and editing. So...
And if I had a tow bar, I'll tow a mower with it as well. It hasn't got a tow bar.
Yeah, so it's a really adaptable vehicle, camper van. It's long wheelbased, fixed bed. It's got pop-top roof. It's got a lovely big fridge with a freezer that worked amazingly. Really cold, wasn't it? Just super. It's got 2 gas burners, an oven and grill, and I used the oven to keep things hot. That worked really, a gas oven.
Yeah.
And it's just quite comfy, isn't it? Comfy to drive, comfy to sit when you're on site.
Easy to drive, even though it's quite a big old van as well.
Yeah, it's got a shower room with a cassette toilet, but we didn't use that because we were on site with facilities. But yeah, we have grown to love it, I think we can say.
I don't go emptying turds out and things like that.
No, it just amuses me when you see people like pushing or trailing their trolley.
There we go, just been to the loo and now going to empty that out there together. There we are.
Splish, splash, splatter.
Lovely. Yeah. Let's move on from
that. Anyway, that's the Auto Trail. There'll be more on our social media about it. We've got so much footage to get out there, and there'll be links to the Auto Trail website where you can look at the Expedition 68 in
their whole range. They've got various ones. So big, much bigger camper van, motorhomes than that actually, and they got a big one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You've done your medical?
Yes, so I've been out of the water since October and needed to get a medical done. So went up to our friends at Midlands Diving Chamber and saw Sally. Woo! And had my medical with Dr. Mike, and it was a very thorough medical as well. Yeah, did the PADI medical, so everything from urine tests, chest chest test, isn't it? Where you do the step up
Yeah. Actually do the same
spirometer.
one as us pros do.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. Blood pressure, heart rate, looked at any prescription medication. So came away, with confidence, no restrictions, diving for the
Excellent.
next 12 months. Yeah. So just need to
Marvelous.
get
Well done.
diving now.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk about diving. So I've signed up and paid my money to do my do the side mount course. So looking
Woo.
forward to that. So gone down with a couple of local guys, Scott Laddyman and Matt Rivet, who's going to be my instructor, and doing the PSAI side mount diving course. So I think we got our first meeting next week. I think next Monday. Go through the theory. So get theory done. Probably over 2 nights. I'm not sure if we'll get all that done. Then the guys are away diving in Malta,
Yeah.
jamming little gits, and when they come back, I think we're doing a pool session, and then we're going to be probably at Stony, jumping in, getting wet properly. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I've got to look into getting some gear.
Yeah. How many dives do you have to do? Is it a bit like open water?
Probably a couple, I'd say, but I might be. Don't hold me on that. I've still reading through the manuals, and you know how much I love reading a good manual. Great.
Doing the practical stuff. It'll all come clear then.
I know. So I've warned them about. Not my strong point is reading dive, any kind of manuals,
Have you got any
including dive
tests
manuals.
to
do? Probably is a test, I'd say.
Multiple choice, multiple luck.
Anyway, we'll talk about it as we go.
When you've done it.
When I've done some. So the first one is I paid up. You know, that's the main thing. That's done, out of the way. And then the first meet is next week. So I look forward to that. So I shall be reporting back during the course how it's all going, and
get an update next podcast.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Actually, I look forward to it. It's good to learn. I think it's always good to learn something new, isn't it? Whether it's diving or something else. And you know, it's something new. You know, we did a little try dive at the Go Dive show a couple of years back with the Frews. Had a good time. Really enjoyed it. And looking forward to it. And change a setup. So I'll be working on the buoyancy, getting it all level and nicely placed in the water with a bit of luck. So be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to do tech diving as such. I'm going to just be nice having extra air, because more air is always good.
Yeah. Well, it's just like you say, learning something new is always good to.
But I'm hoping at last that will then give me the confidence, because I've got more air. I'm selling my twin set stuff because I don't have the most best flexibility and mobility of years being at the gym and what have you. So I always struggled with doing the shutdowns and stuff. I could do them, but I always struggled with it. And I thought, do I really want 12 liters on my back still? And I thought, and it looks so much easier. Give it a go. So I thought, sell me twin set stuff and get into side mount diver.
Yes. Well, we'll look forward to following your journey.
Yeah, look forward to sharing it. So that'd be good. We've got to say a big congratulations. Somebody's is now a PADI instructor, someone who we know.
Yes, Liam Kirk from Spring Lakes Dive Centre or Divers Time. Yeah, he's only, I think when we first met him, he was 19, wasn't he? So he's either very early 20s, and he's just qualified as a PADI instructor.
Yes, awesome.
In Italy, wasn't it? He did. Yeah. So we're very proud of you and very well done. And I know Scoobs will be absolutely made up and chuffed.
Bless him.
Yeah, and that's just a reminder to look up Spring Lakes as a diving inland lake. We've been there several times and really like it, and they're really friendly people, great setup as well, right on the water, easy to get kit up, get into the water. And they're having a sort of open day on the 25th of July called Snorkel Fest, where they're
Yeah.
having one of our other guests, Andy Torbitts, he's going to throw himself out of a plane, skydive, and then parachute into the lake and go for a dive.
Because he can,
Because he can,
and because he doesn't just rock up in a Land Rover like anyone else. He likes to throw himself out of a plane, make an entrance. Why not?
Make an impression.
If you can, why not?
Yeah, so definitely
when he goes to Tesco's, he chucks himself out of the plane and goes in Tesco's on a parachute.
Yeah, or a moving vehicle to a roll. Yeah. But yeah, definitely look it up, because there are going to be Cressy, Stan, Dynamic Nord are going to be there.
Yeah.
There's going to be a DJ. So it's going to be a real sort of vibey feel. And
I think they have a barbecue. I do apologize if I'm speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure they have a barbecue and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
or food trucks or something. Yeah.
Yeah, or food trucks and stuff. But yeah, there's quite a few people who go, and big event. We sadly missed it last year. Well, I think we was away, weren't we?
I think with Farne Islands, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it kind of clashed with that. But this year we can be there. So
and they'll be doing some snorkeling, paddleboarding. So
all sorts. Yeah,
you can. It's not exclusively diving, so it's a good sort of family day out, really.
Yeah, well, yeah. For the non-divers, there's something for them to do as well. So which is good. But talk about that. There's not many lakes you can actually get kitted up, and your next step's in the water. You can back your vehicle right up to virtually the water's edge, and it's near on, perfectly clear. Every time you go, whatever time of the year you go, it's clear. There's great visibility. It's a great place to go, especially for those people who want to work on their buoyancy and new to diving, particularly, who just want to get in the water where it's a bit quiet and jump in and just work on skills and things like that, because it's a great place to do it.
Yeah, you can do a beach entry, but they've also got a platform where you can do, giant stride in. So anything like that, and if you're a bit nervous doing your mask clearing, that's a perfect place. It's quiet. You're not going to be over bombarded, with a busy dive site. So I don't think, there's a lot to be said for that.
That does make a difference to people. Some people do get a bit nervous, especially with some of the youngsters and new divers get a little bit nervous, turn up to really busy sites and stuff. So absolutely, it's a great site. And it's literally, if you come from the south, it's literally half an hour past Stony Cove or Dost Hill, or if you come from the north, then it's even nearer to you.
Yeah, and the setup there, parking is super easy. You don't have to sort of have any issues with queuing, and
airfills on site. There's a great cafe. There's toilet facilities. There's
showers. Yeah.
And at the moment, the airfills are just a little bit away from the lake, but everything is now being moved up. So everything is all going to be at water's edge, the whole lot.
Yeah, and they're stockists. They do Cressy predominantly, don't they? And they've got other brands there as well. But if you need snorkel mask, they've got wetsuits there, haven't they? So if you need any equipment, then just pop along, have a browse, and
And it's funny because we kind of approached the subject in the talk with our guests a bit later on, and we talk about there's not much to not much of a window to dive on our east coast. On the south coast, we know that you can dive virtually all year round, great, but for most of the UK, you only get a short window, and there's so many lakes that are out there in the UK who hardly ever get much attention, because people just go to the ones that they know. But actually, if you do a bit of research, there's quite a lot out there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
so it's worth doing your research and just think and try a different lake. Go.
Yeah, and you don't know until you try.
Yeah,
and like we say, try new things and you might be surprised.
Absolutely. So that's that. Pet Clark, hello, shout out to him, one of our previous guests. And what was the word thing? I was just then trying to think what he said to us once, remember?
Yes, he had a real nugget.
It wasn't
didn't he?
Find the Magic.
It wasn't Find the Magic, no.
That was Phil Short.
Yeah.
Anyway, while you're thinking of that, so Tech Clark's back in on the airwaves, ready for you to download, and he has got the Dive Locker podcast, been going a good while as well, longer than ours actually. I think
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
going for us, and he has some really good subjects. So if you haven't heard of Tech Clark, look him up. He's also a minister based in Florida. Look him up, and he does cover some really good subjects. So
Yeah.
look up the Dive Logger.
Yeah,
podcast.
and it's nice to have you back, Tech Clark.
Was that about changing? Because we spoke to him in lockup.
Lockdown, wasn't it? And he had his
lockdowns.
beard. His beard. I think it was something to do with looking in a mirror, wasn't it? I'm gonna have to listen to the podcast now to find out. So,
I should check first, but I think it's what it was.
yeah.
So that's that. Also, news in the diving world still going round, churning round about the 5 sad deaths in the Maldives. All sorts of theories, all sorts of reasons why none of us know yet. And some of the social media comments and stuff like that, just like, whoa, you don't know, and maybe hold your theories and stuff.
But you can't stop people, and that's social media. You've got to take everything you see with a pinch of salt. It's people's opinions, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you can't.
And we all know about opinions. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, and they're entitled to air it, but it's got to be done where you're not going to offend somebody. Or
sad story, and we don't know, do we? We don't know, and it's just all really sad, that 5 people went down and didn't make it back. That's the crux of it.
Yeah.
So there we go. Our thoughts are still with them.
And talking of local UK dive sites, more the unknown ones, we had somebody reach out to us from Dudley Dolphins. They're looking for, a few extra members, and they wondered if we could give them a shout out on the podcast. So hello, Dudley Dolphins. They're a BZAC club. They dive every Sunday at Netherton Reservoir, which they own. So Dudley is West Midlands to the left of Birmingham, so pretty accessible. They dive at this Netherton Reservoir. It looks like it's got a depth of up to 15 metres, and it's kind of soup bowl shaped, so a steep drop off from the shore. So perfect for trading. They've got a clubhouse with changing facilities on site. They have a rib that they use for dive training, the compressor for refills. They've got equipment for training, free tea and coffee, and sometimes they put on food depending on the amount of people around. And they just charge $16.50 a month for membership. Obviously, other divers from other agencies are welcome, and they can book using the Dudley Dolphins website. So I'll put a link in the show notes. Have a look them up, and maybe give them a buzz and try out a new dive location.
And lastly, just what to say, so for everyone who likes their shiny bits of kit, there's a new bit of kit coming out. It was announced on the 19th of May that the Shearwater Perdix 3 is coming out. No, I've not seen any official date yet. I might be wrong, but it looks like it's going to come out round about June, possibly July, round about £1,200 to £1,500 thereabouts, depending on whether you have a sensor with it or transmitter.
That's exciting.
Perdix 3. I've got the Perdix 2, so it'll be interesting to see what the lowdown is on the Perdix 3 when it come out, and I'm sure Narked will be stocking them.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the sensors are all back in stock at Narked 90. There's been a bit on social media about that, so I think they've been out of stock for a bit, but they're all there now. So
all there, panic over. Go to narked90.com, get your sensors.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the show notes. And then also one of our previous guests reached out earlier in the week to say, so this is Miranda Krestofnikov. She's been working on a project. The UK banknotes at the moment feature historical characters like Winston Churchill, but they're going to be changing to animals, UK animals.
So we're not going to have Charlie Boy on anymore then?
Well, I think the King will still be on there, but it's just the people,
Oh, okay.
the other people on, because they fit. So the banknotes are all different, aren't they? They feature something different. So the plan is to change it to animals, and the public can vote up until the 2nd of or the 3rd of July for their favourite 2 animals out of each category. And the categories are mammals, birds, and amphibians, insects, and fish.
Right.
So
I think I'm going to go for a hedgehog, because why would you not? And is it two mammals?
2 out of each category, yeah.
I'll go for a hedgehog and a seal.
I chose.
Hold on. And a puffin and an owl. And I'm going to go for a basking shark and a salmon, because I like salmon. I like a salmon sandwich.
I would go for a bottlenose dolphin and a hare.
Right.
Kingfisher.
Yeah.
And a great spotted woodpecker.
Oh, really?
Yes. Well, colourful characters, aren't they? Kingfisher and the woodpecker.
Yeah.
And then I would choose, obviously, a buff-tailed bumblebee. Because that's, and I think it would have to be a basking shark.
No, you can't. I've chosen that.
Oh, don't have you? I didn't. Well, it would be the marsh.
Oh, she's such a copycat.
Trying to keep it fishy.
Get your own ideas.
Shut up. Marsh fritillary butterfly. So these are all.
Did you need your glasses to read?
I did, yeah. It's quite small writing. Yeah, so do go along and have a little vote. And I think.
So what's the name of the website we've got to go to?
Well, it's on the BBC News. Here we go. I'll put the link in the show notes, and then you can click and choose your favourite ones. So you've got up until the 3rd of July.
Surely they can't replace Winston Churchill.
Well, it says the Bank of England Governor, Andrew Bailey, who makes the final decision, not necessarily choosing the 4 animals that receive the highest number of public responses. Okay. So this is the first time any changes have been made to the reverse of the note since 1970.
Wow.
Quite a big change.
So for anyone who's fast forward and now catching this bit of the conversation, they're probably thinking, why not? Have we downloaded the Diving podcast? We're talking about banknotes.
Yeah, there's obviously some ruckus from various people that don't believe.
There's always a ruckus. It's always a ruckus.
But a ruckus creates debate, and that's always good.
There's always a ruckus when we mention scallops for some reason.
Yeah, what did we mention yesterday when we had our interview? We were talking about food, weren't we?
Shrimps.
You mentioned the scallop situation. Yeah. Because we were on about fishing, weren't we, off the beach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crabs, lobsters.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's get our guest on.
Yes, so this is David Swain, and we sat him in the auto trail and just had a conversation about his journey through being an instructor and opening his own dive centre.
He was a little bit nervous, let's say, at the start, but he warmed up and got into it, and
he enjoyed it. That's the main thing.
He enjoyed it. See, we're okay to talk to. We are.
Yeah, and we also need to say thank you very much for our T-shirts and little goodies that he brought. He came armed with gifts, and
he did.
We were, absolutely blown away. He came with notes as well.
We're easily bribed.
Yeah.
I'm quite cheap. I'm quite easily bought with a cup of tea.
Yeah, so we'll have to take some pictures of us in our T-shirts. And he gave us some key rings and some stickers.
Yeah.
So big thank you. Yeah, to Beyond One Bar Dive Shop. So this is David Swain. Welcome.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Welcome to this camper van, and welcome to the Big Scuba Podcast.
It's lovely
joining us on this Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me.
We've got yourself and us too. And first question is, what does being underwater mean to you?
Being underwater to me is just the best thing really. I love being underwater. I feel at home underwater. Yeah, I'm not good at this. We start that again, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You know,
Yeah.
But we're in a great spot here, aren't we? You know,
We are.
overlooking the sea, and you know, great spot. All this going on behind us with Sizewell, and as we look out, we're looking across the east coast. We've got some works going to our north there with a platform, haven't we?
Yeah,
It's a
there's a
sunny day. We've got
sparkling
fishing boats down to the south of us, and the Union Jack is flying. We've got boats coming in, which I suppose they must be heading out to Europe, wherever they are.
Yeah, and this is a local beach for you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I spend a lot of time down here.
So where did you grow up around this way?
No, I was born in Essex.
Okay.
Braintree in Essex.
Yeah.
And spent a lot of time in Essex, and then moved over to Honduras. And
Honduras?
In
Wow.
Honduras for 7 years. And then after 7 years out there, came back. But I came back to Suffolk.
Was you diving over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it diving that took you to Honduras?
Yeah, kind of. It was we were looking for somewhere to go to, and wanted to go out to Australia, but it seemed very difficult to do all the visas and everything like that, and the paperwork and stuff. And I saw, I think it was something like "Wish You Were Here" or "Place in the Sun" or something like that. And it was on Honduras, and I thought that looks really good, and it was a lot easier to get out to Honduras than Australia. So
That
we ended up
program,
going
Wish You
out
Were
there.
Here, set a lot
Yeah.
of people on their travels. didn't
Judith
they?
Chalmers, wasn't
Judith
it?
Chalmers.
Yeah, it's,
Bless her, she died only a few days ago, didn't she?
Did she?
Yeah, she was in very late 70s, or even, I think about 80.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
So did you dive before you went to Honduras? How did your
Yeah.
scuba journey start?
Well, I've always loved the water, and I've got a big affinity with water. And I started swimming at age 4, and then I swam competitively up to age 16.
Nice.
And then I've been out travelling in Greece, and when I came back from Greece, I had blood clots in my leg, and so I ended up in hospital. And while I was in hospital, a friend of mine, she works on at the path lab and does all the bloods and things.
Yeah.
And so she came down to see me, and her and her husband had just joined BIGSCUBA Dive Club. And so I thought that was brilliant, because I always thought to scuba dive you either had to live somewhere amazing, or you had to have tons and tons of money to do it. And so as soon as I got out of hospital, I went and joined the local BIGSCUBA club and started diving.
So which club was that? Was that in Braintree?
That was
Essex?
Braintree BIGSCUBA, yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Braintree BIGSCUBA.
Excellent.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Narked at 90, the cutting-edge pioneers in the world of diving equipment. Meet the founders, John Routley and Brent Hudson, who have logged thousands of mixed gas dives over the past 3 decades. About 20 years ago, these experienced technical divers combined their passion for diving and engineering skills to create Narked at 90. Whether you're new to diving and ready to take it up a notch, have a fair amount of experience, or are considering a transition into technical diving, we highly recommend Narked at 90. They're ready to advise on the best equipment and setup for your personal and commercial needs. Narked at 90 also has extensive hands-on experience with shearwater and ratio dive computers, being the longest serving UK service centre for these brands. They're ready to offer technical support, servicing, repairs and upgrades for all shearwater and ratio computers past and present. In addition to shearwater and ratio, Narked at 90 stocks and supports many other brands such as DiveSoft, JJCCR, Hollis, Revo and Kiss rebreathers. The diving community is always enthusiastic about Narked at 90, and it's easy to see why. Here are just a few reasons. Full head servicing for rebreathers from various manufacturers, bespoke cable assemblies, advice on specific fitting requirements, suggestions and guidance for home builds, computer laser cutting and engraving, CNC milling and turning, pressure testing to simulate 400-metre dives. We're thrilled to partner with Narked at 90, a company that has ignited so much passion for diving and has been incredibly supportive and innovative in producing and selling dive equipment. Visit narkedat90.com to see why they're a renowned name in diving. Stay updated on their insights and offers by following them on social media. Just search for Narked at 90 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and hit that follow button.
Like Stoney?
We tended to dive more at Gildenberg. We did with BIGSCUBA you have quite a lot of training, so I think it was it's probably about a year before I did any sea diving. But the first sea diving I did was down at Fort Bovisand and on the Plymouth Breakwater out there. But yeah, we did a lot of training in Gildenberg.
Oh, Gildy.
Yeah, Gildy. Good old Gildy. Lovely Gildy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so you obviously got a passion for it.
Yeah, I mean it's just the most amazing thing. It's sort of being underwater. Everything just goes away, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it must be awesome to run your own dive centre.
It's good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. It's.
How did that come about? How did you get to run your own dive centre?
Well, if you go back to Honduras and the diving there as well, it must have been amazing. Did that kind of must have set you alight as well?
Yeah, I mean, I really loved diving from the get-go. I mean, I loved all the training in the pool, everything, and then being out in the open water, being out in the sea, and seeing creatures and wrecks. And I think on one of my first dives, we found an engine of a Lancaster bomber off the breakwater at Plymouth, and things like that. You just think that's fantastic. And yeah, it's just it grows on you. The more you see, the more you do, the better it gets. And so yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's put the electric on.
Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? There we go. Let's get this cup of tea on.
Yeah.
There we go.
So when you were in Honduras, did you still do dive training, furthering your qualifications up?
I didn't. I was already teaching. I was already an instructor.
Right. Okay.
So I was freelance instructing. We'd already had a dive centre in the UK before going out to Honduras. So we had a dive centre called Dive Care in Braintree. We ran that for a number of years, and then headed out to Honduras. And so I was already an instructor then.
Yeah.
I was already service technician, compressor operator, all of that stuff. So the idea of going out to Honduras was we were going to set up a dive centre out there.
Yeah.
And sort of relocate Dive Care out to Honduras. But unfortunately, what we did was we bought a 42-foot dive boat, and we thought we'd get a little piece of land, or find a little piece of land, or find somewhere to rent or whatever, and then bring the dive boat round to there and work from the dive boat, then do all that. But unfortunately, we'd only been out in Honduras a couple of months, and hurricane came through.
Wow.
And it destroyed the dive boat.
Really?
Yeah. We had a panga, and we had dive boat, and we had a little boat. We managed to get the little boat up off the beach and sort of inland a little bit, so that one was okay. But the panga was destroyed, and the dive boat was very badly damaged. That ended up on the beach.
Wow, that must have been heartbreaking.
It was, yeah, that was very difficult.
Yeah.
It was very tricky. We'd seen the hurricane was coming, but everybody
at the beach.
We hadn't been there very long, and everybody was reassuring us that the hurricanes don't sort of hit the islands and they go further north. And the weather got worse, and we're sort of watching on the computer with the track of the hurricane and stuff like that. And then it's like, this is coming for us, but by that time
That must be really scary.
it was too late to move the boat, because you had to, where it was in a kind of a lagoon, so you had to take it out the channel, and we had a hurricane anchor in a bight, but you had to go out the channel, round, and then back in another channel into the bight, and the water was too rough to move it, so we had to we had to leave it where it was. And unfortunately I didn't know enough about I tied the panger to the back of the dive boat, which was the worst mistake, and what happened was the panger ended up sinking, and it acted on the dive boat. It didn't let the dive boat move freely, and so that dragged its anchor and ended up on the beach in 2 pieces, and spent the next 7 years rebuilding it.
Oh no.
Well, at least you gave it life again.
Yeah. She sailed again a few times.
Yeah. So did you then restart off without a dive boat?
Well, I was just doing freelance, because it's like while we were rebuilding the boat, I just started doing freelance work for dive centres, and it got to the point, if you do really good work for people and you're reliable and all the rest of it, then people want you back.
Yes.
And so it got to the point I was going from one resort to the next resort, and I never had any time when I wasn't working.
That's good.
And so that was good.
Paid to build a dive boat.
A lot of fun. Well, yeah, you're earning the money, and some of it's going into living, some of it's going into rebuilding the dive boat, and and doing all that. But we had to. I mean, it was, in some ways it was a good thing, because when she did break with the hurricane, we found that the back sort of 10-12 feet of the boat was all rotten. And what happened was, the guy who had it before us, he had extended it, but he was doing it on a budget as well. And while he was extending it, it was out of the water, and lots of rainwater was getting in, and it got into the new section that he had put on, and it had rotted that out. So it was good, because we could have been out on the boat and it could have broken in half or something. It could have been much worse. So it's kind of everything happens for a reason, doesn't it? So you just got to follow along with it.
Yeah. So what's the diving like in Honduras?
The diving's amazing. Yeah, really, really good.
So is it wildlife more than anything, and reefs, or?
It's really, really easy. You haven't got much tide to worry about. It's lovely and warm. It's lovely and clear. There's lots of wildlife to see. It's just really good.
Diving in the North Sea. And
you've got massive, you got massive walls. We were on the Bay Islands, and so you've got I think you're on the end of the Cayman Trench, and so the north wall just goes down thousands and thousands of feet, just disappears. Now, and south wall again, it's just very, very deep. It's off the continent of Honduras. It's just, I suppose it's like a volcanic island.
So having
such deep, come straight up.
Yeah, such deep water must have some really big marine life.
Yeah. You get some see amazing things. Lots of sharks and that.
Yeah.
Saw pilot whales a few times.
Wow.
Saw manatee as well one time, which was bizarre.
I don't think we've spoken to anybody that's dived Honduras.
No, I didn't think so.
No.
I think
it's a
you're the
lovely
first.
place. It's a good place to go.
Yeah. Are there lots of dive centres there? Is it known
there's
for diving?
quite a lot of dive centres. Yeah. It's generally Americans and Canadians that dive down there, but you get quite a lot of Europeans as well. But it's better known, sort of America and Canada.
It's just not far flight for them, is it?
No, it's easy for them.
Yeah, and I suppose as UK people, Egypt is easy to get to, Malta's easy to get to, and Honduras would be a bit of a hike.
Yeah, flights to Malta are about what, £80?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a little bit more Honduras, but you can, I don't know, you can get some cheap flights. Did one where I flew from London to Milan, I think, and then Milan direct onto the Bay Islands.
Yeah.
And the other time sort of British Airways and stuff, and you can fly into places like you sort of fly into Texas and then down from there onto the islands.
Yeah. So what made you come back?
Okay. Well, there are a couple of reasons really. There's my eldest daughter. She was getting to the age where she wanted to do sort of further education, and she wanted to go to sort of university, that sort of thing. And she would have had to go onto the mainland to do that, and so she probably would have gone to Tegucigalpa to do it. And we had a friend friend called Andy. He had a ranch near Tegucigalpa, just near Tegucigalpa, and he said that she could stay on his ranch and he'd provide a bodyguard for her and all of that. But you kind of think sort of blonde hair, blue eyes in Tegucigalpa is like is a real target for kidnapping and that sort of thing. So we weren't overly happy with doing that.
Understandably.
And then the thing which really sort of did it was my son Elliot. He stepped on a nail and he got an infection in the bone in his foot.
Ooh.
And we were very, very lucky with that. That was over Christmas, and a friend of ours, American friend of ours, she was going to have an operation, and so she had a surgeon who was on the island to do the operation. But when it came to it, she didn't need the operation, so the surgeon said that he'd look at Elliot's foot, and he opened it up and got out all of the nasty stuff, and sewed it all back up again. But he said that the next thing, if it didn't heal properly, then the next thing would be they'd take the foot off. And the hospitals out there, you don't have running water or anything. Everything's done with bottled water. So it's a little bit.
Let's hear it for the NHS.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And so we thought, okay, we need to get back.
I suppose it's when things like that happen, you think, or what potentially could happen.
Well, from an infection, all sorts.
Well, and possibly seeing your daughter kidnapped. It's just like,
it's an amazing place, and it's 95% just
have your wits about you by the sound of it.
Sort of 95% heaven and 5% hell, really, sort of thing. And it can go from one extreme to another fairly quickly. But it's an amazing place. I'd love to.
Let's hear it for Suffolk.
Yeah, good old Suffolk. But
it's a whirlwind trip. This.
But when he came back, he went in and he had an MRI and everything was fine. They didn't need to do anything else. He's got a big old scar, but they didn't need to do anything else. So they'd done really good work.
Yeah.
And a lot of what happens out there is looked after really, really well. It's just under very primitive conditions, really.
And I suppose if it's more a resort, a tourist destination, then you're going to be within resorts and you wouldn't see all this kind of more primitive.
We lived sort of in locally, in with the locals, really, and which was really good because it sort of we knew an awful lot of people, a lot of islanders and that, so it meant that kind of people looked out for us as well, and so it's nice to be in the community. But yeah, so we'd be living in one place, and then I'd be sort of whizzing across the island on my scooter to the different dive resorts and that I was working for. And a lot of times I'd stay at the dive dive resort for a month or two or whatever, and then head back. Or it depended on what the work was. Some people only wanted me for a few days. Other people, you sort of get instructors who were ill, and so they need someone, and so you go along. Or instructors would leave, or whatever. So you sort of go in. You might be in there for a few months until they get someone else to come in.
Yeah,
but it's nice because I got to dive all around the island and that, and so you get to see everything, which is brilliant.
Do they have liverboards out there, or is it purely...
They do,
yeah.
I didn't work on any of the liverboards, but I think Aggressor have got one out there.
I think maybe Dive America did Honduras.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we spoke to they organised dive trips called Dive Americas, and they were more South America based, but I think they might have mentioned Honduras. Yeah,
and you get the cruise ships coming in, and got more. When we first went out there weren't very many cruise ships, but now there's a lot, and they built another port in Brick Bay, and they built a massive great cruise ship port there to bring more in, and renamed it Mahogany Bay.
Sounds
much better than Brick Bay, but so you get lots and lots of people coming in with that, and quite a lot of the time we get people, they come off the cruise ship and we take them out for a couple of dives, and then they race back to the cruise ship again to disappear off to the next place.
Sounds good.
Interesting. But then back to Suffolk. So you came
Back to
straight
Suffolk.
back to Suffolk, did you?
I stayed on the islands for a while. Kate and the kids came back to Suffolk, and Elliot got himself sorted out. And I stayed to sort of get stuff packed up to move back home, and to sell as much stuff as I could out there, and to try and sell the boat, which was now kind of it was almost, we had it running for a while, and then because I was working as freelance instructor, I got a local guy to captain the boat, and then I could sort of rent the boat out to dive resort to use whilst I did freelance at other resorts and stuff like that. But the captain that I chose, he pushed the boat quite hard, and one time he broke the engine on it, so we were back to rebuilding the boat, and managed to find another engine for it. We're getting that installed, getting that done, and just bits and pieces were happening. Things like I had a mechanic working on it to sort of get it finally dialed in, I suppose. And while he was working on it, he ran the engine, but he had a cloth in the air intake, I think, to stop anything from falling in while he was working on it, and that got dragged into the turbo, and just it seized the whole lot up. So we were back to trying to take it apart, and not knowing, I didn't know what I was doing with big diesel engines. So you're sort of trying to work on them in the bottom of a boat in the heat and all the rest of it, and sort of taking things apart, and then you couldn't get any parts either, because where would you get parts for? And we managed to sort of get it done, but then we came back, so we ended up leaving it there, unfortunately. But it's one of those things, big hole in the ocean that you throw lots of money into.
You're just looking out the window, seeing some. They've been swimming.
Get lots and lots of swimmers along here.
All ladies.
I would say all ladies, no men. Where's all the men?
Where are the men?
Yeah, we've got a big.
Perhaps we've just got more sense.
We do have men swim along here.
Because let's face it,
but
that's
there are
quite cold.
A lot more ladies. A lot more ladies swim.
We've got a big following in Lowestoft. All ladies. Well, no, there are men in that group. Yeah, there are. Yeah, I see them at like 6:30 in the morning.
They're more buoyant, I suppose.
Who, the men?
The women.
You be careful.
just a guess. I don't know.
Well, make of that what you will. Any complaints, write in.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so good. I swim along here a lot, and it's just so nice.
Yeah.
And it's lovely with the tower just here.
It's a beautiful spot.
So come on, let's talk about diving off at Sizewell. So we're at Sizewell, just south from the most easterly point in the UK at Lowestoft.
Next to a nuclear
What's it
reactor.
like diving?
Next to a few nuclear
have
reactors.
you dived
Nice
up here?
and
What's it
warm.
like?
Yeah. The visibility generally isn't very, very good.
What are we talking?
Like nothing.
Really?
Most of the time it's brown, but you get maybe 2 weeks, maybe 10 days in the year when it's clear enough to dive.
See, we often talk about this. We talked about this on other episodes, haven't we? How we've got on our east coast such a short window.
Yeah.
On the south coast, they're
Lovely.
virtually diving
All
all
year
year
round.
round, aren't they?
Yeah.
Meters and meters of good visibility.
Yeah.
So literally, you get 10 days,
Yeah.
and how good? How at best?
At best, 3 or 4 meters visibility,
Yeah.
something like that. And it's just one of those things. You keep an eye on it, and this time of year, you tend to get a little bit. So you sort of keep an eye on it, and that. And it was looking clear last week, the week
and it's
before,
got windy again,
and then
hasn't
it just all went overnight.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
all went brown again.
Yeah. And on the east coast, we just have a very fine sandy bottom. That's what causes this visibility, and it just doesn't sink.
Well, we've got you pointed out the ship earlier on coming out. We've got Felixstowe, which is the biggest port in Europe, isn't it? Something like that. And so you've got that. They're constantly dredging that, and you've constantly got boats coming in and out, stirring it up. We've got quite a few rivers emptying in around here, and then you've got the sand and the sort of silty bottom out there, which it all sort of contributes to not the best visibility in the world.
With Sizewell Sea, are they doing any sea? They're putting a sea defence in, aren't they? For
They're putting a
Sizewell
jetty
Sea
in
Works
so
programme.
they can bring in materials, I think, for building.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's what that big thing is. But they're putting in piles for that.
There's a big platform we can see in peripheral vision, and that's probably how far out from the beach? 100 metres?
Yeah, and it's it'll come right into the beach.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, because they'll be unloading out there and then bringing it up to the site.
They put a key in there or somewhere,
Yeah,
are they?
yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of work going on.
A lot of work.
Isn't there?
But no, there's a nice little wreck just along there. It's only I don't know, a couple 100 metres maybe off the beach.
From where the car park is at Sizewell?
Yeah, if you go sort of you see where the little winch huts are for the
Yeah.
boats. It's pretty much directly out from the last winch hut
Okay.
along.
So
And so you sort of head, what would you head south from the beach car park to the last winch hut, and then straight out from there. And it's, I don't know, 150, 200 metres off the beach.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
there's some sort of big ironwork, and so you get sort of crabs and lobsters and things hanging around there, and fish hanging around it.
Yeah. How
The
deep?
rest of it's all sort of sand and shingle, so you get the flatfish and rays and
Nice.
the little weaver fish and that sort of stuff that you see out there.
Oh, it's
And shoals of fish above you, lots
Yeah.
and lots of shoals of fish around.
So by about 3-5 metres, something like that?
The little wreck, yeah, probably 3 to 5 metres. It's very shallow.
good for training then, if the visibility is.
Yeah, you just can't.
See.
You wouldn't be, you wouldn't be able to organise it. You wouldn't be able to schedule it.
No, it's just there
because
to
it
do.
is literally if I might come up here in the morning and it's clear, and then sort of at lunchtime or whenever the tide is, I might shut the shop for an hour and just nip down here and just go and have a dive and go have a look. So it's not something you can sort of plan really. The other ones we do is sort of up Thorpe Ness. Again, there's a wreck just off there.
I
and
can
a
hear
nice,
something whistling in the background. You know what that means, don't you?
nice
Cup of
reef.
tea time, yeah.
That sounds good.
The sound of the kettle.
So at Thorpe Ness, you said there's a reef.
Thorpe Ness, yeah. There's a it's kind of like a wood reef, I suppose. So
Cup
there's lots
tea?
and lots of. Yes, please.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely. So there's lots of wood and
Tea bags.
lots of sort of different sediments and bits and
Yeah.
pieces which make up a reef there. And I don't know whether some of them are. I don't know quite where the wood comes from. Whether some of them are timbers or some are definitely timbers from the wreck, because when you move the sand away, they're flat. They're man-made. They're
Yes,
not natural shapes. So I don't know whether some of it is natural wood and some of it's wood from the wreck, or quite what it is.
So we have got a lot of wrecks on this coast, because further up at Cove Hive there was a wreck uncovered. I remember going to see it COVID times, I think. It literally got uncovered, and that was a wooden boat, and you could see like the stud work in it as well.
Yeah.
And you think, so what?
So many wrecks around here. Then.
Yeah.
Did you say there was a plane as well?
There's rumours.
Or rumours?
Rumours. I haven't found that one yet, unfortunately. And I'll hope to carry on looking for it, but I'm a little bit worried that it's where they're doing the work for Sizewell. So.
And I guess there'll be limited zones where you can go.
Yeah, and you don't really want to be out there, and then the current moves you across to where they're working.
Platform for us to have a look.
They might do, yeah. Yeah, if you could have a word with them, let me know.
Yeah, because we have got a bit of tide here. I mean, it's 2 meters, 2.5 meters movement, isn't there? On this coast?
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No.
But you do get a little bit. But again, it's with like with a lot of this coast, it seems to be sort of longshore tide.
Yeah.
So you might sort of go in there. If the tide starts to move, you come out over here. So you've just got a bit of a walk to do. So that you can deal with. But yeah, with the wreck at Thorpe Ness, you find lots and lots of copper nails dotted about on the reef, and there's a big anchor out there as well.
Oh, wow.
Other bits and pieces.
Well, it's good to know there are other places to dive, because we hear a lot about North Norfolk, like the Rosalie and Wreck.
And the Vera. Yeah.
So have you done those ones?
Yeah. I've done those a few times.
So you, in terms of, you got back to Suffolk, so did you immediately decide you wanted to set up a dive shop here?
No, when I first came back, I was sorting lots of things out initially when I first came back, and then I got the work again, pretty much freelancing with Dive Line in Ipswich,
Right.
with Jeff and Simon over there, and so they suggested that I set up my own business and basically freelancing for them. So that's when I set up Beyond One Bar.
Right. That's
When I was working
unusual
there.
for another dive shop to suggest another dive shop up the road.
Well, I was still working primarily for them as an instructor.
Yeah.
But I was
Do you
self-employed.
have sugar?
Yes, please. One, please.
There is a McDonald's sachet in the front there still.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot to bring sugar.
Do you not take sugar, you guys?
No.
No.
You got the McDonald's sachet. I thought I'll bring oat milk. I thought about bringing some sugar, and I thought, no, they'll have sugar. They better have sugar.
We stopped for a McDonald's cup of tea, didn't we?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So how long's Beyond One Bar been in operation?
I set up Beyond One Bar in 2014, I think.
Tea
Something like that. Yeah, probably 2014, I think.
Right. So it's been a while then.
Mm.
Yeah. So and
But I was literally just instructing up until 2020 with Dive Line.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I don't think we've had any dealings with that club.
I've tagged them in stuff in the past.
yeah.
Yeah, so at Beyond One Bar, do you do refill everything?
We
that
do,
you,
yeah, do
you're a full
everything.
one-stop shop kind of thing.
I know you
Pretty
don't have
much,
sugar
yeah.
with your tea, but do you want a bug in your tea?
No, thank you.
One's got a bug in.
No, thank you.
I didn't know if you want me to leave
Fish it
that
out.
in.
Yeah.
Had my protein
Yeah,
today.
a little bit of extra there. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so we started up, and then I was basically just instructing for Dive Line, and then it was a little bit difficult because I was finding sort of spending a lot of time driving in and then working and then driving back, and my youngest son, I wasn't spending enough time with my youngest son. He has autism,
Right.
and I wasn't really spending enough time with him, and so he wasn't sort of we didn't have that close.
It affected him not seeing you
Bond.
enough.
We just weren't that close, which was difficult, and then COVID came along, so they didn't have any work for me at all, and we saw this little shop which was up for rent, and we thought, well, let's just set up. And then it was in Leiston, we were living in Leiston, and then I'm close to home and get more time and all of that, and so yeah, we sort of just decided to do it, and so we opened up, I think we opened up March 2020 or something with the shop Beyond One
Just
Bar.
before lockdown.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and
literally
yeah,
just before lockdown.
yeah, that was it, and so we weren't allowed to be open. And then we went for another reopening again in November the 5th, I think, which was my dad's birthday, so we thought that's good, we'll reopen November the 5th.
Yeah.
And we had another lockdown November the 5th it's and it's like, great, and so we spent a long time being closed before we could finally open up and do anything properly, which was it was difficult. So,
But thinking time, I suppose, to plan
thinking
the
time,
shop. Yeah,
yes.
it's just like,
yeah, it gave me time to paint the floors and the walls and put all the I don't know, the racking up and all.
So you're called Beyond One Bar.
Yep.
Where did that name come across?
Okay, thank you for asking. Beyond One Bar, obviously when we go diving, we go beyond one bar. So we're in 1 bar air pressure up here on the surface, we get 2 bar 10 metres, 3 bar 20 metres, and so on. So we're going beyond 1 bar. So that's the first reason. Beyond 1 bar, B-O-B. So my dad's name was Robert, so Bob. And that comes. Amount of people call me Bob, but it's after my dad. And then the third one, the bobtail squid. I absolutely love bobtail squid,
Wow.
and so I've got bobtail squid for my logo.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we'll put some
There we go.
pictures up of Bob.
Put Bob up.
Bob's Squid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great name for a dive centre.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So do you do air fills?
Servicing equipment and getting stuff ready. Yeah, we do air fills.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. We do everything really. We do new equipment sales, we do second-hand equipment sales, we do rentals, we do servicing, we do testing, we do air fills, we do training, we do whatever really with scuba diving.
Nitrox?
No.
Okay.
With scuba diving, open water swimming, free diving, snorkeling. So we sort of try and stick to that.
Yeah.
We get people coming in asking for fishing gear or for stand-up paddle boards and things like that, but that is enough for me to
Well, you've
deal
got to
with.
draw the line.
Yeah,
haven't you?
exactly.
Yeah.
You could just go on forever.
And are you PADI or BZAC?
We're SSI.
SSI. Okay. Yeah.
So initially, I started off diving with BZAC, and then in '96. I did my PADI instructors, and so I taught PADI for, I don't know, 25 years, something like that. And then I also did, I was an SSI instructor back in 2001 at the Dive Centre back in Essex, and then again went sort of back primarily PADI again while I was out in Honduras. Did some SSI courses out there, but most of it was PADI. And then crossed back over to SSI again when we set up Beyond Montbar, so 2020. And been with them ever since.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So student-wise, you start them from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So have you got a pool, or do you use a pool?
No, we share a pool with the lovely people at Finding Scuba. They have a pool session on a Tuesday night at Watcham Air Base, and so we share that with them. They very kindly let us come along and make us welcome. So that's nice.
Not heard of them.
No.
Finding Scuba, they're sort of Ipswich based.
Okay.
So it's another dive centre, is it?
Yeah, they do dive training.
I'll come across that
everywhere.
No.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know about this your one either until Dan mentioned it. So.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I mean locally
he wants a Narked at 90 slap strap, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't got them with us, have we? Not
No,
today.
we'll get some sent to you if you like.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I can drop them.
Yeah,
in.
we've got
That'd
some.
be awesome.
Yeah, and then you can hand them out as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Narked at 90 are our podcast sponsors.
Mhm.
Yeah. And am I right? You mentioned that you can teach rebreather.
Yeah, I teach rebreather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What sort?
The Hollis Explorer,
Oh, okay.
which unfortunately there aren't that many of about.
No.
So I need to look. I'd quite like to do the Horizon, the Mares Horizon. It's fairly similar to the Explorer.
Which is a hybrid, isn't it? Is that the hybrid one?
No, the Hollis Explorer is basically a very, very simple rebreather. So you've got a cylinder of nitrox, and then the rebreather runs off that.
Right.
So if anything goes wrong, you bail out onto your bailout cylinder, or you can bail out straight onto the nitrox in the system. So you're only going to get a maximum of whatever you've got in the nitrox tank. So it makes it very, very simple for people. There's very little to go wrong.
Okay.
And if things do go wrong, then it's very simple to get out of it. You can either just switch it over to breathing from the nitrox, or you can just go onto an off-board or something and breathe off that.
So what sort of depths are they rated to?
Well, you'd go down to your level of nitrox. I've taken one down to 40 metres out at Elphinstone,
But you
going down to look for
potentially
the
you could-
hammerheads.
So potentially you could tech dive with it?
It's more a sort of a recreational type
Right.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of in between the open circuit. It's very, very simple to use.
What is that called again?
The Explorer.
Explorer.
Hollis
Yeah,
Explorer.
but they're getting very few and far between now.
And in terms of money, are they cheaper than a AP or Inspiration
Yeah.
to buy?
Yeah, I don't think you can buy them anymore.
Right. Okay.
Because everything which went on with Hollis and it kind of got phased out at that point.
Yeah.
But
Hollis got taken over
Mares-
by Hughes. And
The Mares one that they do.
the Horizon
Horizon.
again is you can run it off nitrox tanks and things.
And
from what I can tell.
I think that sounded quite good. That I've really looked into that.
Yeah. The Explorer was really simple, and I took it out on a liverboard one week, and we were doing sort of a southern liverboard, and you could run it alongside everybody doing open circuit, because all you want is a nitrox supply.
Why aren't they
to fill
sort
it.
of took off though? Is it because people want the one that you could more do tech dive, and that gives you more
Yeah, I don't
scope?
I don't think it really had the the chance before Hollis was taken over.
Yeah.
I think it would have grown more. It's very difficult because you're putting it's a big investment going into a rebreather. Once you've got the rebreather, then actually running it was not really any different to running open circuit.
Yeah.
When you're diving, when you come to servicing it, there's that extra cost there.
Yeah.
And I think also sort of people are a little bit worried about rebreathers, and they kind of think they're quite sort of technical and difficult and all of that. But I think there's definitely a place for something like that, and I think Horizon's going to be that rebreather which takes that place. And I think you'll see a lot more people using something like that.
Yeah.
They're just a simple one that anybody can use. And I was a lot of the time with rebreathers, you spend a lot of time getting them ready, getting them set up.
Yeah.
I knew divers who had more complicated rebreathers, and they'd spend hours getting them all set up, and then something would happen and they couldn't dive or whatever. The Explorer was very, very simple. It was easy to set up. It generally worked, and that was that. And like I say, when we were on the liverboard, I could have that set up. I could sort of do 2 dives on it, and then at lunchtime refill the scrubbers and that, and then you're set to go again for the afternoon. Where I don't know whether I would have been able to cope with a more technical rebreather and keep it to the time frame of the sort of 2 dives in the morning, a dive in the afternoon, and a night dive.
I think they suit a certain mindset.
Keep that running for a week. Yeah, lots of people love all of that.
Yeah.
I want to be seeing fish and reefs and
I don't think I've
and
got
that.
patience for
I don't want to be spending my time messing about.
I think that's
I mess
why I
about
struggle.
servicing equipment enough.
I suppose it's like for the real technical divers, they've got a purpose. It is depth, and they want to see a deep wreck. Then they've got to.
Yeah, and it's an
Stuff they
amazing.
do.
Yeah.
And a lot of the diving that's happening now couldn't really be done
No.
without rebreathers.
No.
It's,
No, when you're going down to like 90 metres
Yeah.
to see a wreck.
especially with gas prices now, if you can make that gas last as long as possible.
There's some people doing dives a couple of weeks ago, weren't they? 180 metres they were down.
Yeah.
Yeah, rebreathers.
That's like double what?
Look where they were now. It was actually quite interesting, and it's I think it's out in Egypt somewhere, and they're exploring sort of cave system they found. 180 metres they were down, and saying how good the viz was as well.
It need to be.
Don't know, I want to be, but the thing though is that if you could buy a system, because I really enjoyed that time we did the tri dive on the AP system. I really enjoyed it. I don't think I haven't got the patience to do tech diving. I'm a guy. I like to be down 45 minutes, come back and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And I don't think that will ever change. I am what I am, but I do like that idea of the silence of not having bubbles.
Yeah.
And I like the simplicity. I've signed up to do side mount, and because I like the simplicity of walking down to the water's edge.
Yeah. Jumping, clip on.
Yeah, clip on. Put your tanks down there. They're waiting for you. Get you geared up, ready. Clip on. In you go.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to be said for the simplicity, in diving, and I quite like that. But I also quite like the idea of a rebreather where, you can just have a bimble, see the fish, do stuff.
Yeah.
You haven't got all these bubbles coming out, and enjoy the peace and quiet.
Yeah, because it's funny what people say. It's like they enjoy their silence underwater, but I think it's not silent underwater because you've got this constant.
Yeah. It's never silent underwater because you've always got all the shrimp and
Critters.
everything.
You can listen, can't you? You can hear those sounds. So that's what I want to hear.
You're breathing. That's the with the rebreather, that a lot of that goes because you don't have all those bubbles bouncing around your ears and that. That's lovely. You've got extra warmth because you're rebreathing that same gas.
It's just different
it's
ways
good.
of diving.
Yeah.
So do you have many people inquiring about rebreathers these days?
No, not that much. We're still quite a small little dive centre. We primarily sort of do open water divers, and then we sort of move them through. We've had a couple of dive masters now. We've got Dan, he's doing his dive master. Eleanor, she just finished her dive master. So we're sort of getting to that point where we're getting more sort of technically focused people.
And then where do you take them to do their open water part of
for our students? Primarily Stony Cove. Just because you can kind of guarantee that it's going to be fairly clear. You've got nice easy shelves. If you're on the 6 metre shelf, no one's going to slip off down to 8, 9, 10 metres or anything. You can keep good control on it. You've got the road going down, so you can take people to different depths and that. You've got the wrecks, you've got the Steingarth, you've got all of that. There's lots of interesting stuff to see, lots of good facilities. This is a good opportunity, and I must tell you, I would love to do other about our friends at Spring Lakes. Scoob's up there. The whole team, they're doing great things up there. It's shallow, we know it's shallow, and it's only, I think last time I was there, it's about 4.5 meters. So not for the whole weekend of diving, but at least for the first dive, get people in. It's quiet. You can park right up to the water's edge, and they're crying out to get people up there. Schools, they're BZAC. They're a little bit further down, aren't they?
Yeah, about half an hour further up from Stony.
Because we've already got quite a trek.
But if anyone who's listening, who's coming from the other side,
definitely,
it's just another lake to try. And there's this last sort of year or so, we've found other lakes around that don't even get focused. Don't even get. There's the lakes over at Bristol Way. There's Memes in Kent.
I've done Neems before a few times,
and hardly get a shout out. What did you think of
Neems? Neems I really enjoyed. You got to be a little bit careful, because if you've got other divers in there who aren't so good with their buoyancy, then you just get a white out. I think it's chalk, isn't it?
St Andrews is like that, which is not far from there either.
But I really liked it, and as soon as we came out of the water, there were like cups of tea and stuff, and it was like, great, love this. And what I tended to find was, if you went in, you've got sort of ropes out to platform, and then if you went past that platform out to the further platforms where not so many people go, and you've got the little bus over there, and you've got like a coach over there, I think. And if you go further out there, then you can enjoy decent visibility, and then you have to come back through the chalk to get back. But you've got the little ropes to follow, so it's easy. Because what we found was people who were doing training tended to go to that first platform and sort of work around there, so you avoid that. But the killer for us with that was Dartford crossing, and we could get down to Neems in, I don't know what it'd be, sort of an hour and a half or whatever. It's very quick, but you could spend an hour stuck at the Dartford crossing.
Yeah, you can.
And so it would.
Puts a bit of a dampener on the day.
I work down that way, and sometimes I try and get through the tunnels by 3 o'clock. If I'm not through by 3 o'clock, I can add another couple of hours to my journey if I can. There's Wraysbury as well is another one that takes. So that takes us the same time to get to Wraysbury as it does to get to Stony Cove.
Okay.
And that was, we did that once, didn't we? And that was
love Stony Cove. It ticks all the boxes. But it's good to try other lakes.
I mean, I'd love it if there were other ones to do. It ticks the boxes, doesn't it? So we're up there a couple of weeks' time, I think, open waters.
So do you do holidays or trips?
Yeah,
with the club?
We do. We had a group out to Grenada beginning of the year, and they had a lovely time there. We've got another liverboard in November, which I'm looking forward to. And then we're trying to do a trip down to Pembrokeshire, beginning of September. So that's 7th, 8th, 9th of September.
You're very organised.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Not all
I was trying to be
so organised.
I was
Notes.
so stressed about doing this, and trying to. I thought, better write some notes, better write some things down, and then when you're actually here, you can't really look at them.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else you want to in your notes?
I don't know.
It's all right, you're allowed to look. Don't worry, it's fine.
I don't know where we are on here.
Do you take students up to the Farne Islands, or?
I haven't. I would love to go up to the Farne Islands. At the moment, our biggest issue really is getting numbers together to do things, because we're still quite small, and so you sort of put dates out and some people can do them but other people can't, and so it just becomes a little bit difficult.
If you can at some point, because
I've done
they do
the Farne
struggle.
Islands loads of times and I absolutely love it, and I really want to get back up there.
They were struggling to fill the boats last year, so if you do get to a point where you can organise a trip, that'd be good to get more people up there for them.
Yeah, I want to go.
Lundy as well.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good.
Lundy diving.
I've got lots
Lots
on my list.
Bucket list.
Lots on my list.
Swanage Pier. That was.
Swanage Pier.
Yeah, we like Swanage.
Yeah. I haven't dived Swanage Pier in years. Should do.
So, do you still log your dives?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do.
Right.
Yeah, I like. I've got tons of logbooks. I don't log every dive, but I tend to log more dives now, because with my SSI app, it's got its own logbook in there, and so you put the dives into the logbook. Most of my dives, I'm working, so I'm with students or whatever, so they need to be logging them. So what we do is I'll log the dive, or one of my dive masters will log the dive, and then everybody can scan their dive, and then it's all in there, and then they just change their ones to their air, their dive times, and what they saw and stuff like that. But yeah, I still log them. I like that, having the being able to pick up a logbook and open it up and look through. I'd like to draw pictures of dive sites in the logbook. I like to stick in postcards. I'd like to stick in the labels off beer bottles and all that sort of stuff. So, there's
you
more
can't
of
do that with an app.
You can't do that with an app. Well, you can put photos and stuff and videos onto it and stuff like that. But it's
nice to
the
feel
time.
these
But
if you have them on the shelf, you can just go.
And also it's sort of what happens to that data in the future, if you no longer have the app or whatever.
Where we're at,
hopefully you've still got the logbooks. Although I lost one, lost about 300 dives out in Malta. My bag got stolen.
Oh no!
And had all my dive kit in, but it had my logbook in, which was more upsetting really, because dive gear it's an excuse to buy new stuff.
It is,
you can replace dive gear, but you can't replace stuff like that. So I learnt from that, and I'll only take a logbook with me with a small amount of dives in, and do it like that, or maybe a blank logbook to fill in. So if you lose it, you don't lose the whole time.
I wonder if it'll be like the LPs. So I went into HMV and I had to laugh at one of the signs in there, because it says when you go in there, buy these buy vinyl. It's the best way to listen to sound. And for those of a certain age, we went from vinyls, right? And then they told us, you've got to have
CD's
tape.
the
Then you've got to have CDs. CD's the best way to listen to music, right? Oh no! Now we're no longer using digital. Then now when you go to HMV, they say, oh no, you got to buy the LP vinyls,
because you get those
because that's the best way to listen to sound. It's like, really? Now you tell us. So not the CDs that you told us 10 years ago is the best way to listen to sound.
Amazing.
And I don't know, it's funny the way it all goes round, because you're buying records, and then for a long time, you couldn't give records away in the like charity shops 10p or whatever.
You try
and their records are like 30, 40, 50 pounds.
So you go to charity shop now, there's Val Doonican, that's By Graves, marching albums and all that sort of all the stuff that nobody wants anymore, you know. And you try buying anyone like the Stones, Queen, Jam, anything like that, they're about 50, 60 quid.
Yeah, I think with the charity shops, when they come in, they look through, and the big ones go onto eBay or whatever.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other online marketplaces are available.
They are,
of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's been really good. So, where do people find you online? What's the?
Oh God, online. I'm really rubbish at all of that sort of stuff. Are you
on social media?
You've got a website.
I have got a website, which was. Thank you ever so much to Zoe for the website. She did a brilliant job with that. Zoe has a majorette troupe down in Felixstowe, and we sponsor them, Supernova Majorettes. So if you want to do some majoretting, do some twirling, head on down to Zoe in Felixstowe, and they've got an absolutely amazing troupe. We're very, very proud to sponsor them. They win tons and tons of trophies. And so
I've got the legs
we use
you have.
We use the van when we do the Felixstowe carnivals. We put the sound system on top of the van, and then we've got trophies all over the van, all fixed on. But yeah, they're absolutely amazing. So yeah, Zoe did the website for me, and I really need to update it. There's stuff on there which it needs time to do, but I'm terrible, because I'll have a go at doing something on there, and I'll end up messing something up, and then it takes me hours to get it back to where it was before I started from, and all the rest of it. So I should spend more time on that, doing that. We've got an Instagram, which again I really should put more stuff onto, and then we've got the Facebook. Facebook's the one I tend to use mostly, because for me it's very, very simple to do. I can put a post on there quickly, easily, and it's done.
So what's the address for your website?
BeyondOneBar.com.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put links in the show notes as well, so people can just click and then come straight to you as well. So, so hopefully if there's anybody locally listening, they might get in touch.
Come see us. Come along.
We better do our set questions.
Yes, so set questions. Got to remind myself. So our first one, if you could take 3 people underwater diving, they could be past, present, who would you take and why?
Okay, well, 3 people. The first would be my mum and dad. Take them diving, just so that I could spend more time with them. So yeah, that's that one. And then I've worked with lots and lots of amazing people. People in scuba diving are just absolutely fantastic. Everybody's there doing something they love and something they enjoy, and they're just the best. So all the people that I've ever worked with through scuba, and all the people I've taught to dive, all of them, all together, we all go diving.
You need a big boat for that.
Big pool, a big bit of water. And then I don't know, they've got the sort of celebrity thing. So I kind of initially thought about Jacques Cousteau, but then it's one of those things, everybody goes for Jacques Cousteau, although it would be incredible. David Attenborough again, everybody goes for David Attenborough. I thought about Steve Irwin, but I think he might be a little bit too much for me. So I thought about Steve Backshall, because he seems like a really fun guy. I think he'd be good to dive with.
And knowledgeable.
Give you commentary as well.
Yeah,
You've seen.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
We could have the full face mask and the comms and everything and do that.
Am I right? I saw a picture on your website where you had a full face mask, a white one?
Yeah, I teach full face.
So what do you use? Ocean
I used
Reef?
the Ocean Reef.
Yeah.
And so I did. I think it was 98 or something. I started using Ocean Reef. Yeah. So I had the what was it? The Neptune Naira, I think.
Yeah.
And then I had the G Diver and they're on the Neptune 3 or something.
Neptune
now,
3,
think,
nice.
They
nice
are
setup.
really nice, easy to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have many
And you
people
can put
come?
the comms in and that.
Do you have many people come through and then continue diving with them?
We've got some people who dive with them. What I generally find, sort of, if you've got someone who's a firefighter, it's much easier to teach them to dive with a full face mask than with open circuit. They're much more used to wearing something like that. So that works very well for them. Someone who's already used to using BA.
Good. Okay, comfort zone.
Comfort zone.
So what gets you out of your comfort zone?
Doing this podcast.
We're really not that scary.
No, it's been really, really good. I was really stressed about it in the build up to it, but it's been very, very good. And it's been good fun, and you've been wonderful hosts, and you've made a lovely cup of tea. Thoroughly enjoyable. So it was the build up to doing things like this for me is very out of my comfort zone. And then I suppose with some of the things, I suppose unpredictable divers, they kind of put me out of my comfort zone a bit.
Do most people,
when
I
you
think.
sort of you're doing something and you think they're doing it as well, and you look around and they're not. Doing
I guess
it,
you must
and
come
you
across
kind
that
of, quite a lot.
bit,
Quite a bit. I mean, you're sort of always trying to keep everything under control and organised and safe. I've been teaching for a long time now, and touch wood, I've never had anybody have any problems. There's fake wood in here, but there isn't any real wood, is there? I'll do that when I get out of the auto trail. It's lovely auto trail. That kind of puts me out.
It's
of my
human beings,
comfort
isn't
zone.
it? They're unpredictable and can do
Yeah.
anything. No, that's good.
And the last one?
And if you could have a billboard that you could put out to the entire world, put it on your website even, what message would you put out to the world and why?
Okay. Again, that's a massive thing, isn't it? I was trying to think of different things to do with this, and I don't know, I can't think of anything. So I think I just put on it, try and be the best person you can be, do the things that you're passionate about, and fall in love with scuba diving.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Put
Ask
on
more than
there.
that.
Yeah. And I think, it's like anything, you don't know until you try it.
Yeah. And I don't know, there's so many people who are nervous about trying, and a lot of time those people who are really nervous about trying, they're the ones that sort of at the end of the pool session you can't get out of the water, because it isn't what people think. There's so many sort of stories about diving, and it's an easy thing. It's so easy, and it's such a nice experience. Just being weightless and just being able to go wherever you want. If you want to go up, you can go up. You go down, you go down. You go right, you go left. You roll onto your back. You can do whatever you want. I used to, when I was little, I used to dream about flying, like the sort of Peter Pan, and you're sort of swimming in the air and doing all of that. And I used to have lots of dreams about flying. But then when I started scuba diving, those dreams stopped. And I guess it's because I'm able to do that now. And you can just go where you want, and you see something, and I don't know, you see a wreck or whatever, and you can go over the top of it or through an arch or or you get a fish swim over, and you can just roll over onto your back and watch it swim across above you and then back again.
I think it's being in an environment where you're not meant to be, but when you see marine life, like even fish at Stanley Cove, that's really exciting.
And you see the interactions, and you get a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like sort of diving one place more than once," but I can dive the same dive site hundreds of times. So every time you go, it's going to be different. And there's going to be different stuff going on, different interactions, different times of the year.
Different visibility.
It's not even just swimming out here. You tend to sort of swim out and around the tower there.
Yeah.
And during the year, the tower changes. You get the different birds on.
Yeah.
Sort of over the winter, January, February, you've got all the cormorants on there.
Swim at that time of year.
And yeah, swim all year round. I'm a wuss though. I swim in a wetsuit, but I swim all year round. And it's one of those things where they say that the cold water does you good, but you only need sort of maximum 2 minutes of that cold water to do the good. You don't need to be in there 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then so I've got the first sort of 5 or 6 minutes that I'm in there of freezing cold because my wetsuit fills up with water, cold water. So I get cold, but once that water warms up, I can carry on swimming. So I'll generally be in for sort of 30-40 minutes, that sort of length of time.
And is that for exercise or just getting in the water and getting your fix?
Getting into water, getting that cold water, I think that's very good for you. Just being out there again, sort of beginning of the year is lovely because you get the seals, and the seals tend to sort of come close and pop up next to you and that. I go swimming with a good friend of mine, James, and James, he really pushes for it, and he's got an ice bath at home, and he'll go in his ice bath. He loves it, and that is really good for me because a lot of days I could quite happily not go in the water, and I sort of look at it and think, oh no, you've got to be kidding. But James pushes me into it, and so he makes me swim all year round, which is good. But it is very beneficial for me. I think physically, but I think very much mentally.
Yeah.
I like going to my gym. It's got a heated pool. There's a sauna and a steam. I get in there. It's lovely. That is.
Yeah, I'm not really one for gyms, unfortunately.
It's just like it's lovely.
I was just thinking the amount of birds on that tower. There's a lot. Are they kittiwakes or are they?
Yeah, they're kittiwakes. So like I was saying, you start off with the cormorants, and then you get the herring gulls, and then you get the kittiwakes, and they nest on it, and you get this cycle all through the year of different birds.
There's a good probably couple of hundred
it.
on there, aren't there?
Yeah.
They prefer there than the kittiwake hotel.
Yeah, the hotel out there.
You've got one as well.
Yeah.
We've got 2 at Lowestoft. But
I'd love to know how many kittiwakes there are out there, because you can't actually. I suppose if you had really good binoculars, you'd be able to see.
Yeah, I think.
I should brought my binoculars.
People at Lowestoft, they have been out, and they are filling up.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I
that's
think
good.
last year they didn't.
Yeah.
The surface wasn't very good either.
No, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
No, we're getting a lot more wildlife along here. I think the wind farms have helped as well. I think a lot of people were worried about the wind farms and what effect they'd have, but because you've got a base to each of the windmills, then you've got a hard substrate which things like mussels and stuff barnacles and that can attach to, and then that brings in fish because they feed off of that. And then you've got the seals which are feeding off the fish. I saw one person had put a tracker, I can't remember, it was a few years ago, they put a tracker on a seal, then it had gone out and done this like sort of grid pattern. It's like, so what's going on with this? And it had gone round to all of the bases of each of the windmills, and sort of going around and obviously, well, presumably feeding, or just checking them out, maybe with a noteboard or something, making sure they're up to code.
The other thing with wind farms is because there's no fishing or no boat traffic allowed in, it's a nursery for fish as well. So that's another good thing as well.
Because we've seen a huge explosion in the seal population along here. There's a big colony now, Orford Nest.
Okay.
Which there wasn't really many seals there before. But I think they were saying that a bunch of them had sort of broken off from the Blakeney lot and sort of come down here and set up down here. But it's perfect for them because over the winter people can't go across the nest, and so they can do their pupping and stuff. And then if you've got all the sort of new wind farms out there, you've got all that extra food for them.
Yeah.
It works very well.
Yeah. No, that's good. Well, it's been lovely having you on the Big Scuba Podcast.
Thank you ever so much.
Done well.
In the comfort of the auto trail.
Yeah.
It's been very enjoyable, yeah.
And the
I do
weather's
like
held.
this.
The weather's held up.
I could definitely get
We've used it over the last couple
get
of
very comfortable in one of these.
I've had it at Sandringham. It's been to Cromer. Where else? Dunwich, I stayed at.
Yeah, and you've got the beds in the back and that.
Yeah, you don't need to make your bed at night. Just fix the bed, and there's bed upstairs as well. If you want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Upstairs.
Yeah, and the pop top, you can
Very
literally
fancy.
undo it all, so it's like a lookout platform.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you ever so much.
No, thanks for being on the Big Scuba
pleasure.
Podcast. Excellent.
Great.
Well, thank you very much, David, for joining us in the Auto Trail. It was good to have you join us, and good to have a chat. Really interesting as well, having a chat about, local shores as well, and having them shores literally in front of us, because we don't have that very often, do we? We often speak to people who are literally halfway around the world, don't we?
Yeah. And, he made full use of his local beach. He was a big swimmer as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And, so it's really good that we had the opportunity to talk to him in the auto trail.
And there's so much going on in that area, because in that whole small little bit of coastline, we've got obviously Sizewell Sea, which is a massive investment into the UK, and big operation that's going on that whole area. Same area, we've got wind farms, and
massive
pipeline that's coming in. We've got a pipeline coming in at Lowestoft, coming in from Europe, brings power. And also there's a big solar farm there. That's all happening all in that area. And he mentions about the visibility, don't he? And it's not the first time we've heard that about the East Coast. Hardly anything to see, really, and at that area in Suffolk, and how the dredging and all the activities go on has an effect in that. Bound to, isn't it? It's all close to that area.
And again, there are people anti it, there are people for it. It's a difficult one, because it's bringing in such huge employment potential to the area as well. It's huge project. So, but we cover that. So, but big thank you, David, and glad it wasn't too nerve-wracking, and he came out all right at the other end.
He did all right. The boy did well. So it was good. Yeah, excellent. Big thank you to Auto Trail as well for letting us use their lovely camper van to do the recording in. That's great. Big thank you to Narked for sponsoring us as always. That's brilliant. Who else?
Well, and to the other brands we work with, we're doing Circular Co. We're doing their reusable coffee cups and
you need
water
to put that
bottles.
on your t-shirt.
Yep.
There
we go. We've got a discount code for those. Waterhaul as well, if you want to go out litter picking on the beach, which is always a good thing to do when the weather's better. Look their website up, and you can get some discounts on that equipment.
What's the code?
Big Scuba. Yeah. So, and they do some lovely sunglasses, polarized sunglasses. So great if you're out by the water, on the water. Ideal sunglasses, and they look great as well. And they've just brought out a new pair that are wrap around, and they've got like a wrap cover you can take off, so you can really be shielded by the sunshine.
We should also say one thanks for downloading this episode as always, and that's really great. And we've got people lined up over the course of the coming weeks. We've got quite a busy recording week actually this week. But if you're an author or film producer, or there's something in the whole diving world that you do that you want to perhaps talk about it in a bit of a career, and it's something a bit unusual, this should be great. Don't have to be unusual, but if it is, brilliant. We like those ones. But if you've got a bit of a story, bit of a career, or you've done some amazing dives over the years, let us know. Or maybe you just got into diving and you want to tell other people about this great new sport that you've discovered and got into. So here's the place to share the story and raise your hand with the class. Let us know. Contact us. You've got anywhere through social media, emails, website. It's all out there. Just Google the Big Scuba Podcast, get in contact, and we'll get you on.
Yeah, and also don't forget, we've got over 227 episodes and this one in our back catalogue to listen to. So you can listen to the variety of guests that we've covered over the years.
All free.
Yeah, nothing to subscribe or pay for. We are offering all free.
My goodness, we should be subscribing.
Yeah, don't forget, we've got a YouTube channel where we put out various things. We've probably got some bits and pieces we can put out there about the auto trail and diving as well. So subscribe to that so you get a notification when we release anything. You can find us on all podcast platforms. So follow us and tick the notification bell on Spotify or Apple. And yeah, if you've got anything interesting to say, just drop us a DM or any questions for us. We're always there and ready to answer.
Yeah, that'd be good. So that would be handy. Right, I think that's kind of it. So for right now, thank you. It was
the BiG Scuba Podcast.